Endure and survive, and welcome everybody. In this video, I will go over news for potentially Naughty Dog's next game, The Last of Us Part 3. You can click the links of my sources down in the description, but before we start, make sure you smash that like button with a golf club and subscribe. Okay, so let me give a little context here. I've been down the rabbit hole for The Last of Us Part 3 leaks, and these are the sources that I have found. So starting off, Exhibit A, everybody, Viewer Anon. Viewer Anon remains anonymous. They are on Twitter, and they are apparently a reputable source. They said, well, I'm not watching anything, so Dr. Akram's next game is The Last of Us Part 3, which is currently in production at Naughty Dog. Now, this ties directly into this PlayStation Lifestyle article. And in this article, my friends, it says, and I quote, "A new rumor claims not only that The Last of Us Part 3 is in production, but that it will release on PS5 with PlayStation 6 in mind." Now, we could all remember a time when The Last of Us Part 2 released on PlayStation 4, and then later it received a next-gen upgrade for PlayStation 5. RIP to the people that didn't get a PS5 yet. But I digress. Now, let's speculate here a little bit. All right, let's think about it. So the PlayStation life cycle is about 5 to 7 years. And if that's the case, that's plenty of time for us to get 2 more seasons out of the Last of Us series on HBO Max, covering The Last of Us Part 2, and just in time for The Last of Us Part 3 to perhaps be the final game on PlayStation, you know, one last hurrah. And then it's kind of like everybody who gets PS6 will play The Last of Us Part 3 on the PS6 with the next gen upgrade. I think, of course, the script writing process, I'm pretty sure Neil Druckmann and Craig Mason will be discussing the script, and they have the source material right there that they could pull from. So it kind of seems like it'll work in tandem very smoothly. But my friends, final tidbit. So Neil Druckmann has said that they have chosen their game at Naughty Dog. Let's hope it is The Last of Us Part 3. I'm pretty sure it's The Last of Us Part 3. Let's bet in the comments below. And also, a while ago, Troy Baker said that he's so down to be in The Last of Us Part 3 that they could find a way to incorporate Joel into the story. Then he is so down. Also, the voice actor for Tommy, Jeffrey Pierce, has also wanted to join the game, of course. I would love to see him back. And of course, Ashley Johnson, we need to see Ellie back. That is mandatory. Just a quick side note here. Let me tell you, The Last of Us on HBO Max is such a beautiful adaptation. I love how they add new elements to the story and the world building that actually makes the world even more dangerous and even more claustrophobic. You can't even walk wherever you want to walk. You have to be really careful because you could step on fungus that's connected miles away and it could alert infected. And Neil Druckmann actually said that maybe one day he would like to take some of those elements and apply them to a game. He'd love to do that. So don't be surprised if we actually see some of the elements from the show be adapted this time for the video game. But that is not it for The Last of Us. We still have The Last of Us Factions. The Last of Us Factions is a multiplayer that was originally attached to The Last of Us Part 2, but it was so big in scale and ambitious they decided to separate it and make it its own experience. There's not a lot of information about it now, unfortunately. I'm pretty sure we're going to see a lot more in the coming events because you know how PlayStation and Xbox and this and that, they basically separated from E3, so now they have their own live streams. So any one of those live streams, PlayStation or Summer Game Fest, we might see some news of The Last of Us Factions. Now that's the end of the rumors and leaks. But guys, stick with me because we are going to go into theory territory now. And if you guys made it to the end, I'm going to show you B-roll of a moose. So stick around. You're definitely going to want to see that. Anyways, I always had this thought for The Last of Us Part 3, okay? I always thought, well, we explored the cycle of violence so much and what it does to you and the pursuit of justice and revenge. What does that do to your body, your soul? Let me tell you, The Last of Us Part 2 is a very mature game. It's almost as if it's not to be celebrated. It's something where you will experience it and it's almost like this cautionary tale. And perhaps we haven't seen much marketing from it. I remember I used to compare it to the Joker movie where there weren't many figures, hats, whatever, clothing all around. It was just something that happened and it makes you think about it for a while and it actually stays with you. What I loved about the adaptation, there's all these mantras, and one mantra I really enjoyed hearing, and I actually keep that with me to this day, is when Tess said, "Save who you can." What if The Last of Us Part 3, instead of the cycle of violence continuing that, what if now finally this is the last game and Ellie's journey, she has to experience forgiveness in herself. She has to try to make reparations for what she did. She wronged people as well, and she was wrong. But now she's come to the point where she knows better. She knows that the only way to stop this in this mad world that she's living in, the only way to go against your instinct to kill, your primal instinct to defend yourself, the only way you stop this and make sure you have peace is only if you come to the realization that this world that they are living in, the world that Ellie is living in, it's not so black and white, it's actually gray. She is the villain. It can be a game of acceptance. It could be a game of remembering the great parts of the past. She was molded by trauma. Her childhood was stripped away prematurely, and she had to grow up immediately because of what she witnessed and what she has done. But this time, she has the chance again to make reparations, to make amends with the past, to make amends with the people that hurt her. In a way, she paid for the sins of her father. By approaching this new philosophy, she's paying for the sins of her father in a different light. I think that shows character growth, and I think that shows maturity and wisdom. And I think that is something much to be celebrated. When The Last of Us Part 2 has you questioning your morality, I think The Last of Us Part 3 will be a brilliant story of accepting who you are and moving forward and just trying to be a better person, a better self. And that, my friends, is the end of this video. Again, if you guys like this video, please remember to like and check out our playlists and reviews for The Last of Us Season 1. All episodes now stream on HBO Max. My name is Akram. Everybody, I love you guys. Check out this video of a moose right now. Until next time, see you guys.